Hey y'all, Rick Fearless, Strokers Dallas, Strokers Ice House, Punchwally Garage. Good morning. How you doing? You alright? You alright? You've got to be alright. Today is Wednesday, February the 14th, 2024, year of our Lord. Season number 2, episode number 45. In today's episode, we will cover Valentine's Day, Ron Howard, and quilting. Yes, I said quilting. Let's go. In my life, the 366 Project, coming to you almost live from almost downtown Dallas. The Mr. Peabody Wayback Machine goes back to September 2006. In September 2006, I turned 50 years old. Remember those days when you were 50? You thought you were old? I ask people sometimes, they'll say they're complaining about, their health or something, and I'll say, how old are you? And they'll say, 55, and I'll say, hold on, buddy, it gets worse. When I turned 50, a few days before my birthday, my pop called me up and he said, hey, I want to pick you up and take you to lunch for your birthday. I said, yes, sir, that'll be swell. He came, he picked me up, we went out to eat, and he said, let's run by Joni's house real quick. Well, Joni is his sister, my aunt. And her husband, we call him, my pop called him the Goose, was a great guy. His name was Leon. I love Leon, love Joni. So we went over there and him hauled around, and Joni said, I got something for you for your birthday. And she made me a quilt. The cool part was it was made out of t-shirts that meant something to me. And I said, where did you get all these t-shirts? And she said, your wife gave them to me out of your closet. And I said, how do I got 30 t-shirts missing and I don't know it? I mean, these were shirts, and I still have it. It's hanging here in the corporate offices here. These are shirts that mean something to me. They were Easy Riders, Dallas shirts, Strokers Dallas shirts, Easy Riders Centerfold Tour when I used to do that tour with Billy Lane and those guys. Dallas Cowboy shirts, Hamsters USA shirts. It was all shirts that meant something to me. Stroker Sturgis shirt was really cool, and it's on display proudly up here at Strokers Dallas. If you ever get the tour, which I suggest you get the tour, if you ever get the behind the scenes tour of the place, you'll get to see it. And my question is, do people still quilt anymore? Is quilting still a thing? Yes, I know you can go out and hire a lady to do you a quilt. Probably a company. But I remember my grandma used to quilt, and my mama used to quilt. They had a deal, it would hang from the ceiling, and they would drop it down and get a chair, and they would, they would work their way around the quilt. You remember that? That was back in the day when that was pretty popular. So anyway, 17 years later, I still got that quilt, still displayed proudly, and I still love the thing. All right, let's check the chuck. Check that chuck. Woo! Hey, look at that. What you got there, boy? So these are some leather, kind of a bronze. It's got this elastic thing around the top. Black and white, which I like that logo. Converse Chuck Taylor All-Star logo. White toe, white sole, double black racing stripes. It's got a boot bottom on there, which is cool. White shoestrings. See, it's got one of them flipping eyelets. One eye down, double knotted for safety. These are, say it with me, y'all, these are some handsome chucks. And I ain't even kidding. Southern slang, he ain't got the sense God gave a goose. I know them guys. I know some girls like that too. I fired them all. Dad joke. I could tell my parents didn't care for me much because when I would take a bath, my play toys were a electric razor and a toaster. Maybe a radio. That's a Rodney Dangerfield. Do you ever go back and watch him on YouTube? Oh my God, he was funny. You know, we had a lot of good comedians back then. He was one of the best. As I mentioned, it's Valentine's Day, and I'd like to give a shout out to my beautiful wife. She is my forever Valentine. We started dating when she was 15 and got married in 1979, and all these years later, she's still my Valentine. So shout out to my beautiful wife, Susie. Get off the couch, a motivational minute. It's always better to keep your mouth shut and your eyes open. That's called playing it safe. You don't have to tell everything you know. You know, people will come in and they'll tell me stuff and I'll think, this guy's full of baloney. And I just smile and pat him on the back. Yeah, man. Ooh, what'd you do then? Play it safe. Keep your mouth shut and your ears open. That's the best bet. This shirt I'm wearing is one of the new shirts that we have online, Strokers Dallas Merch, merch.com. It's a blue and white tie-dye. It's got my Strokers Dallas logo on the front and the back. It's pretty cool. I dig it. Okay. YouTube. You're checking me on YouTube. I would appreciate it. It's simple. youtube.com, and then click on the little magnifying glass and search Strokers Dallas. Hit subscribe. It's free. And once you watch it a time or two, I'll pop up automatically. Okay, I'm going to leave you with this. You know, Ron Howard was Opie in the Andy Griffith Show. So when that show ended, Ron Howard did not want to do another series when they offered him Happy Days. He didn't want to do it. He wanted to go to USC and study acting, or study directing, film directing. But he had a horrible draft number, and at that time, they weren't deferring college kids anymore, so he was afraid if he went to college, he'd get drafted. But if you were a young man and you were working for a big company, then you got deferment from the government. So that's why he did Happy Days, was to stay out of the Vietnam War. And that, boys and girls, is the rest of the story. That is how Opie Taylor did not have to go to the Vietnam War. And you know, Ron Howard is a dang good director. I think his company is called Imagine. And I've always liked him, and I've always liked what he does. All right, Rick, Fearless Fairless. I'd appreciate it if you'd go online and order this shirt from me. I got it long sleeve, short sleeve. The short sleeve is a little different, but it's just as cool. All right, Rick, Fearless Fairless. Got to go. Love you, bye. Hey, I'll see you tomorrow.